I don't think that every country in the world has to be united with others in what we may call molecules. Now, but you have in Asia a very good example that is, in a way, a reflection of the European Union. And I say in a way, because ASEAN was started to move at a very slow pace, and they spent, the leaders of ASEAN, they established a commission that went to work with me in Brussels. And after this this learning of how the European Union was working, they produced a document, and that document, with any doubt, has moved the integration of ASEAN today to a much deeper form that you never expected. Now they are now as we were in the monetary system before entering into the zone, the Eurozone. In the monetary system, you remember the monetary system was where when the UK had that problem with Soros, you remember. No? So I see the potentiality of other regions of the world, group of countries getting together, sharing sovereignty without losing the identity of the countries and making the global governance way much easier than we have it today. So allow me to play with this metaphor from my previous incarnations. I am a professor of theoretical physics, but imagine that you have oxygen here and hydrogen here. Suppose that, two gases. And you take one electron from here, and instead of rotating around this, you're allowed to rotate by the two. And suddenly, with a little change, recognizing this is hydrogen, Italy, and recognizing this is hydrogen, the Netherlands, by sharing this external electron, they become a gas, which is water, which solves the problems of our life. So small changes, small changes, without losing your identity, may produce enormous changes. And that we see in the natural world. And I think that can be seen in the real world. I mean, Westphalia is no longer valid in a world in which we are so much interdependent. Interdependence and Westphalia, I think, have some friction. I don't mean that every country has to do that. In nature, you have very big atoms which are autonomous, let's put it that way. They don't share with anybody. And you can think of countries which are big enough that they don't need any sharing with anybody. But if we were to look into that in Latin America, look at Europe. Europe is a country that gets united with different languages, which is a pretty difficult thing, a common history. Latin America is common history, in a way, common language, and they have some difficulties to get together. They have tried, and they will continue to try, and they will do it. And I'm sure they will do it. They would not one, but maybe three. So you will have that in the Gulf countries. If you see how the Gulf Cooperation Council is moving economically, it's very spectacular what is going on and moving towards a common currency, very much. So we are seeing this movement, which is, let's say, a regionalized world, in which I think it will be much easier to find structures of global governance. And we need a structure of global governance. I believe on that. I believe on that. We cannot, we cannot continue living without any structures of governance which are more efficient than the ones we have today. We have climate change, for instance, and so many things that cannot be governed in Westphalia type of structures, which we have to be more imaginative. And I think that is why the European Union, apart from what I said, has an enormous value today as a model if it functions. And I hope it will, has functioned. The crisis has come, it has a big disturbance, but I think we will be enough to the crisis. We have been very productive, useful, etc., in good weather. Remember that from the year 2001 to the year 2009, the spread of a 10 years bond of Germany, of spread its relation to Germany, of Italy with Germany was 0, Spain with Germany was 0, Portugal with Germany was 0. We have really a moment in which we have created the euro bonds without any difficulty. Now, so it could be back, this situation. So I think that is a good model still to maintain in our radar screen, even to those who want, as I do, and Strom does, and this institution does want, to work for having a world with governance which is more sophisticated than the one we have today.